Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the project planner tag. I know I'm quite late with this one, and I think it was over a month ago that Sarah Rose created this video, but it was just quite recently that I decided I wanted to do this. And of course I will leave Sarah Rose's channel down below, as well as her video if you want to check that out. And I believe she has created a playlist as well with everyone who has done this video, so if I can find that I will also leave that down below. But basically this tag consists of 10 questions, and of course they're all surrounding project planning. So I have them right here on my phone, so I'm just going to go through them and answer the questions. And the first question is, how long have you been project planning? So obviously I started my channel in January 2018, so that is just over 2 years ago. And I started my YouTube channel with a project plan. I think the first video actually that I uploaded was project plan, or like the introduction to my 2018 project plan. But before that I also did project planning for a little bit, just kind of in my free time, as kind of a fun project. I've been watching project planning for quite a while, and it was just something that I wanted to try for myself. So I believe I actually started doing it around mid 2017, but again that was kind of just on my own time, and it wasn't really with any specific goals. I just set a few products that I wanted to use up, and then I seriously started project planning in 2018 when I started my channel. So the second question is, what made you decide to start project planning, and what do you hope to get out of it? So like I mentioned briefly, I had watched project planning for quite a while. I think I saw a few project 10 plans a while back, like ages ago, and then I didn't really watch them for a while again. But then I got really into it maybe a year or so before I started my own channel. So that's basically why I wanted to do it for myself, because I just thought it was really interesting, and I just thought it was really entertaining to watch as well. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of get some more use out of my collection. And once I started project planning, I really enjoyed it. But the main goal I originally had was basically just to get more use out of my collection, because back then I had a larger collection than I do now, but since then I have decluttered quite a bit, and I also have used up quite a bit through my project planning, which is good because like I said, that was my goal. So yeah, I think that was mainly the thing I wanted to get out of project planning, just to get some more use out of my collection. So the third question is, how do you like to structure your project plans? Short seasonal plans, year-long rolling projects, or something else? I think I do a bit of a mix. On my own, when I've done my own project plans, they've mainly been year-long projects. For example, I did I think it was 18 in 2018, or just a rolling project plan in 2019, I believe. This year I am part of the Partners in Cream project plan, which is also a year-long project, and that's kind of my main project plan. But also I have been doing a few kind of shorter term as well, mainly the Roulette Pan collab, which is a 4-month-long project, and I've done that quite a few times as well. I think they're good, both of them. I think for me, I actually have started leaning more towards doing kind of shorter term or seasonal project plans now, but I think that's just because it's fun to switch up products and also be able to take part of more projects than kind of one long term. But also there is some downsides to that. So the thing I like about like yearly long project plans or long-term project plans is that you can put in some really hard products, and you will be able to use them for long enough to actually see some progress. So for example, with blushes or highlighters and things like that, if you put them into a shorter project plan, you may not be able to actually plan on it or get enough progress to show. So that's why I also like the long-term ones. But yeah, I definitely do a mix of both. Question number 4 is, what is your favorite way to track your progress? And I have always taken progress pictures, so that's kind of the main way I've been taking progress. But for things like lipsticks or lip liners, eyeliners, things like that, I always mark it on a piece of paper. So I have my notebook where I draw my progress lines, and that's what I think works best for me for those types of products. But for things with a pan, so eyeshadows, blushes, everything like that, I always take a photo, and I think that's my favorite way to show progress, because sometimes it feels like you're not really making progress, but then looking back at photos, you can definitely see the progress that you've done in the last month or when you did the last progress photo, and I just think it's really fun, and it's definitely encouraging to look at those. I have also started thinking about getting a scale just to kind of weigh my products, because a lot of people do that and I always love numbers, so I think that would be really good for me as well. But I don't have one at the moment, but it may be something that I'm planning to incorporate in my projects in the future. So question number 5 is, what products have been the easiest for you to pan? And if you've been following my channel for a long time, you probably know what I will answer, and that is lipsticks. And I always had a really easy time to pan lipsticks, and in my kind of early project pans I went through them like butter. I used them up so quickly. I could use up a liquid lipstick in a month if it was kind of a creamy formula and something I can wear on an everyday basis. I feel recently though I kind of gravitated towards using other products more, so I'm more kind of into focusing on my eyeshadow rather than my lipstick, and because of that I'm not as quick as using up my lipsticks anymore, because it kind of clashes with my eyeshadow, so I can't really wear the same lipstick every single day unless it is a nude. But I would definitely still say lipstick, and then I think the other one I would say is probably eyeshadows. Doing my Pandos eyeshadows project, I feel like I can go through some of the eyeshadows quite fast. I think there's definitely people who pan eyeshadows way faster than me, but I think also comparing it to a few other people, I am quite fast with hitting pan and getting progress on them, so I think that is the second one I would say. And then question number 6 is quite similar to that. It is, what is the product that is the hardest for you to project pan? And for that I would definitely say kind of lip liners and eyeliners and things like that. I have a really hard time using those products, especially the eyeliners, because I just don't really reach for them on an everyday basis. And it's just something that I feel like progress is so slow for me. I feel like some people say they're really easy to use up, but that definitely isn't the case for me. So I think that would be the number one product that I have a hard time using up. Other than that, I can't really think of anything else that would be like super hard for me to use up. Of course there's going to be items that are kind of harder to use because I don't use them on an everyday basis. It's like similar to eyeliners and for example bronzers, but also when I actually get my mind to it and use them every day, I don't think it takes too long. So yeah, it kind of depends on what kind of mood I'm in or what kind of makeup style I'm going for. It does really depend, but yeah, I would say the number one thing is eyeliners and lip liners. Question number 7 is, are there any types of products that you rarely or never put into a project pan? And for this I definitely have a few things I don't think I've ever put into a project pan, and that is mascaras to start with. And I don't really put in mascaras at all because I just feel like it's super boring, because I go through them all the time anyway, and I always stick to one mascara, so it's just something that I would use on an everyday basis anyway. And like I said before, with my goal with project pan is to get some more use out of my collection and actually use things up, so putting in a mascara would be kind of defeating the purpose, because I am using that up anyway, so it wouldn't really help me to get more use out of my collection, if that makes sense. Other than that, a few things that I rarely put in is lip gloss, because I don't really use lip gloss that often, and perhaps this can actually be added to the items that is the hardest for me to pan, because I don't reach for them very often. So that is another thing that I don't really put into projects that often. I think I've had like maybe 1 or 2 lip glosses in total during my project panning career, so yeah, that is something that I really put in as well. Other than that, I don't really have a lot of things that I don't put in. For example, I have a really red lipstick that I'm panning currently. I've had glitters in the past, and blushes, like bright blushes, nude blushes, eyeshadow, a lot of different things. So there isn't really a lot of things that I don't put in apart from those things. Question number 8 is, do you pan skincare or body care or strictly makeup? I think mainly I try to stick with makeup because that is what I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching like makeup being panned rather than skincare and body care. And if I'm doing like yearly product pan that is focused on makeup, unless I kind of disclose that it isn't, I don't really plan body care or skincare. And same with collabs and stuff, I always try to pick makeup products unless the prompt kind of guides me to something else, like for example a hair care item or a body care item. But yeah, I try to stick with makeup items. I think I've done one skincare and body care product pan in the past, but yeah, I just try to stick with makeup because I think it's more fun to watch. Question number 9 is, what is your number 1 advice for a successful project pan? The first thing I will definitely say is consistency. Consistency. Use the products that you have on an everyday basis. I know that's really hard, and I struggle with that too sometimes. Sometimes I just don't feel like wearing some specific items that I'm panning, but I always try to pick items that I know I can reach for often. And of course sometimes with roulette style projects it's not always going to be that way, but I try to work it out that way. But I always try to incorporate as many product pan items as I can in my everyday looks. Like today, most of my product pan items are on my face, and I kind of wanted to switch up my eyeshadow today because I am pairing very nude eyeshadows, but then also green, and I've been wearing quite a lot of green recently, but I just wanted to do something different. So what I decided to do was this kind of pink eyeshadow look, and for that I still used, I think, 4 items that I'm probably panning. So I used like a crease shade, outer corner shade, and then the kind of lid shade that I'm using is also probably pan shade. But then what I did is I topped the outer corner shade with a pink shade used to give it a different hue, and I also topped the lid shade in the middle with another kind of shimmer shade used to give it a bit of a different vibe. And that's how I get a lot of progress. I mix things and I just try to incorporate things as much as I can. And same thing like with lipsticks, for example. If I'm wearing my product pan lipstick, I try to reapply as much as I can throughout the day just to get that use out of it. So I would say that that's my number one advice, is just to try to be as consistent as you can, and when you do wear it, like for example with things like lipstick or powder, try to reapply when you need to rather than leaving it, because that has definitely helped me in the past to get more use out of things. And then the last question in the tag is, has panning affected your makeup purchasing habits, and if so, how? I definitely feel like it has changed. I feel like overall my purchasing habits have 100% changed. I don't really feel drawn to pick up a lot of new things. Of course there's going to be some categories and some items that I still want to pick up a lot of things off, but for example like blushes, lipsticks, things like that, I used to want to pick up all of the ones that I saw. If I saw something in the store, or if people were reviewing something, I always wanted to pick it up, and I just had so many of them. But I feel like with product panning, that kind of made me realize how long it actually takes to use up some things. I said before, like lipsticks I can fly through. Yeah, I can go through them like maybe 1 or 2 months if I really set my mind to it. But at the same time, back in the day I probably had like 250 lipsticks, which is a lot, and even though I fly through them, it would take forever to use up. Or for example when it comes to blushes, I don't know exactly how many I had, but I probably had up to like 50 blushes, and as you may know, they take around at least a year or 2 years to use up depending on the blush. So I just kind of realized that I have way too much, and I just decided to let go of a lot of things that I don't really enjoy that much, or duplicates, because I knew that since it took so long to use up, I would rather just spend my time using things that I absolutely love rather than things that I just think are okay. But then also I feel like just kind of getting older has definitely also impacted it, and I don't feel that craving anymore, just because I value different things, or I think I'm just kind of, I'm not past makeup, but I'm just past that kind of consumerism. And yeah, it's just I'm just in a different mindset now, and I just more kind of creative with my makeup, and I just kind of like playing with what I have rather than just continue collecting. So I think it's a combination of just different mindsets, as well as obviously product panning helping a lot, or changing my mindset a lot. So I think it definitely has changed, but it's not the only thing that has changed my mindset. So that, you guys, was it. Some of these questions made me think a bit, but I'm really happy that I did this video. And if you want to see more videos similar to this, again, I will try to leave the playlist with all of the other people doing this tag down below. And also make sure to check out Sarah's video. She's a lovely person, and you definitely have to go check her out and tell her hello. But otherwise, I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye, guys.